Filipinos in the Ukraine and Russia are also affected by the ongoing conflict between the two countries. To tell us more, we have with us Foreign Affairs Undersecretary Lou Arriola joining us over the line. Good afternoon, Usec Arriola. How are repatriation efforts going in the Ukraine? Is it still voluntary at this point?
Good afternoon, Sean. As of now, it's still voluntary, but there are several people who already came home. So as of yesterday, there were around 13 who came home already. And the other time, there was already 19. So continues. The repatriation is continuing because, and we have identified that there's still 209 Filipinos in Ukraine, but most of them already left Ukraine. So there's a little over 100 that is left inside. Most of them are married to Ukrainians or working as household service workers.
All right. And what about in Russia, Usec Arriola? Are there more Filipinos still in Russia? And how are Filipinos there faring with the ongoing conflict, the economic sanctions imposed by other countries on Russia?
Actually, there are more Filipinos in Russia than in Ukraine. The Post estimates that there are around 8,000 Filipinos in Russia, with 75 to 80% of them who are undocumented. So now, of course, the ruble is suffering because of the sanctions, but that it's a worldwide thing because of the war and that's happening. Even gasoline prices are going up. So there are some difficulties in remittances, but all they have to do is really talk to their banks. And especially for those who are documented, they have some benefits that can be given by the Russian government.
All right. I was going to ask you about the remittances because last week we ran a story about some Filipinos having or encountering difficulties in changing their money into dollar, what with, like you said, the ruble now being considered as next to nothing because of this Russian incursion. So there's been no further reports of Filipinos having trouble with remitting money back here to the Philippines.
So far, I think PayPal still works. Actually, they are asked by the government by the Philippine government to get in touch with their banks because there's a customer service that's for English speakers. So they just have, because they're customers, they should be able to get the money from their bank. And the Russian central bank has given assurances that they will make the ruble available and other foreign currencies for Filipinos. But of course, there are difficulties as to the value of the money. But so far, they are relatively in a safe place, but they are advised to take the necessary precautions and avoid going to places where there are protests so that they won't get involved.
All right. What about these restrictions on social media as well as payment systems in Russia? Have you gotten reports of Filipinos, suffering because of these difficulties with social media access as well as payment system access?
Well, actually, the Visa and MasterCard in Russia are still working. That's the assurance of the Russian Central Bank. And the Philippine Embassy is available both in Telegram and on Facebook. So they can still reach each other through those apps. And I think Telegram really came from Russia. So if they couldn't access their Facebook anymore, there's Telegram for them.
All right, Telegram, of course, being a Russian application. Usec Arriola, have we received any further requests, maybe from Ukrainian nationals wanting to seek refuge or asylum here in the Philippines? Have there been any such requests?
Well, actually, as of yesterday, there were 4 Ukrainian mothers who arrived, but because they have Filipino-Ukrainian children. So we do not have requests for asylum, but the female spouses of Filipinos are already coming in the Philippines because, and this is not really asylum, they're just joining the repatriation of their Filipino spouses and children.
All right. Thank you so much for taking our call. DFA Undersecretary Lou Arriola over the line. Thank you, Usec.